The Autocephalous Orthodox Church of Albania is one of the newest autocephalous Eastern Orthodox churches. It declared its autocephaly in 1922 through its Congress of 1922, and gained recognition from the Patriarch of Constantinople in 1937. The church suffered during the Second World War and in the communist period that followed, especially after 1967 when Albania was declared an atheist state, and no public or private expression of religion was allowed. The church has, however, seen a revival since religious freedom was restored in 1991, with more than 250 churches rebuilt or restored, and more than 100 clergy being ordained. It has 909 parishes spread all around Albania, and around 500,000 to 550,000 faithful. The number is claimed to be as high as 700,000 by some Orthodox sources, and higher when considering the Albanian diaspora, administration and Holy Synod. The Holy Synod of Bishops was established in 1998, and is currently composed of Archbishop of Tirana, Durrës and all Albania, head of the Holy Synod Anastasios of Albania, Metropolis of Berat, Vlora and Kanina, Ignatios Triatis, Metropolis of Kos, Joan Palushi, Metropolis of Gjirokasta, Demetrios Dikbasanis, Metropolis of Elbasan, Shapatan Libraj, and Murdani, Metropolis of Apollonia and Fear, Nicola Haika, Metropolis of Amantion of Thanail Sturgio, Titular Diocese of Kruja, vacant, Titular Diocese of Bilis, Asti Bakalbashi, General Secretary Protopresbyter, Yanni Trebica. History. Christianity first arrived in Albania with St. Paul during the 1st century. St. Paul read that he preached in the Roman province of Illyricum, and legend holds that he visited Durrës. However, it was with Constantine the Great, who issued the Edict of Milan and legalized Christianity, that the Christian religion became official in the lands of modern Albania. When Albania came under Ottoman influence in the 15th century, the Orthodox people of Albania were members of the Archbishopric of Ohrid, which was officially recognized by the Ottoman Empire. Following the Ottoman conquest in the 15th century, a slow conversion of Albanians to Islam started. By mid-19th century, because of the Tanzimat reforms started in 1839, which imposed mandatory military service on non-Muslims, the majority of Albanians had become Muslim. Under Ottoman rule, the remaining Eastern Orthodox population of Albania south of the Drin River was integrated into the Patriarchate of Constantinople. Autocephaly and statutes on March 18, 1908, as a result of the Hudson incident, when a young Albanian, Kristak Dishka, was excommunicated for his patriotic activities. Fan Nolly was ordained as a priest by a Russian bishop in the United States. In March 1908, Nolly thus led the first time in Albanian the Orthodox liturgy for the Albanian American community. Nolly had prepared his own translation of the liturgy into Albanian, and used it also during a tour several major cities of Europe in 1911. Soon after Albanian independence in 1912, Nolly traveled to Albania, where he would be ordained a bishop and become the head of the church. The church declared its autocephaly in Berat on September 17, 1922, at its first Orthodox Congress. At the end of the Congress, the first statute of the church was approved. The church had a second statute that amended the first statute in a second Congress gathered in course on June 29, 1929. Also on September 6, 1929, the first regulation of general administration of the Church was approved. On November 26, 1950, the Parliament of Albania approved the third statute that abrogated the 1929 statute. Such new statute required Albanian citizenship for the primate of the Church in its Article 4. With the exception of the amendments made in 1993, this statute is still in force for the Church. On January 21, 1993, the 1950 statute was amended, and 1996 it was approved by the President of the Republic Sali Berisha. In particular, Article 4 of the 1950 statute that required Albanian citizenship for primate of the Church was no longer required. On November 3 and 4, 2006, at the new monastery of St. Vlach in Durrës, there was a special clergy laity assembly of the Orthodox Autocephalous Church of Albania, attended by 257 representatives. At this assembly, the new constitution of the Church was analyzed and accepted unanimously. On November 6, 2006, the Holy Synod approved this constitution. On November 24, 2008, the Orthodox Autocephalous Church of Albania and the Council of Ministers signed an agreement according to the 1998 Albanian Constitution, for the arrangement of the reciprocal relationship. The agreement was ratified by the Albanian Parliament and became law near 10,057, January 22, 2009 of the Albanian state. Archbishop of Tirana. The primate of the Orthodox Autocephalous Church of Albania is also the Archbishop of Tirana. The current Archbishop of Tirana is Archbishop Anastasios of Albania. The primates to date, 1929 to 1937, Vissarion XH Uvani, 1937 to 1948, Christopher Kissy, 1948 to 1966, Pius Vodica, 1966 to 1973, Damian Kokonchi, 1973 to 1990, seat vacant, 1990 present, Anastasios Yannolatos. Persecution. The Church greatly suffered during the dictatorship of Enver Hoxha, as all churches were placed under government control, and land originally held by religious institutions were taken by the state. Religion in schools was banned. In 1952, Archbishop Christopher was discovered dead. Most believed he had been killed. In 1967, Hoxha closed down all churches and mosques in the country, and declared Albania the world's first atheist country. All expression of religion, public or private, was outlawed. Hundreds of priests and imams were killed or imprisoned. Revival of the Church. At the end of the communist rule, when religious freedom was restored, only 22 Orthodox priests remained alive. To deal with this situation, the ecumenical patriarch appointed Anastasios to be the patriarchal exarch for the Albanian Church. As Bishop of Androuso, Anastasios before his appointment was dividing his time between his teaching duties at the University of Athens and the Archbishopric of Irinopolis in Kenya, which was then going through a difficult patch. Elected on the 24th of June 1992 and enthroned on the 2nd of August 1992. Over time, Anastasios has gained respect for his charity work and now is recognized as a spiritual leader of the Albanian Orthodox Church. Orthodox parishes with active liturgical lives have been established in a majority of cities and villages. Liturgical, preaching, and catechism ministries have been expanded, increasing the participation of both clergy and laity. Several groups have been organized to assist the Church with its ministries: the Orthodox women and Orthodox intellectuals. The moral and spiritual strength offered through the cultivation of a sound religious life is contributing decisively to the general progress of the Albanian society. While most parishes use Albanian language, Greek is also used in areas where Greek is also spoken. The Albanian Orthodox liturgy is the only one in the world to use modern Greek rather than canon of the New Testament. New clergy and ecclesiastical and theological education. The Church has prepared a new generation of clergy. Anastasia started a seminary in 1992, initially in a disused hotel, which was in 1996 relocated to its own buildings at Shenvlash, 15 kilometers from the port of Durrës. As of February 2011, there were 145 clergy members, all of them Albanian citizens who graduated from the Resurrection of Christ Theological Academy. This academy is also preparing new members for catechism and for other services in different church activities. Meanwhile, students are continuing the theological educations in well-known theological universities abroad. 2 ecclesiastical high schools for boys were opened, the Holy Cross in Gjirokastër in 1998, and the Holy Cross in south of Durrës in 2007. New and reconstructed churches. So far, 150 new churches have been built, 60 monasteries and more than 160 churches have been repaired. Many buildings have been built, and others have been bought and reconstructed for various purposes. Altogether there have been about 450 building projects. Through its construction projects and provision of jobs, the Orthodox Church is contributing to the economic development of Albania and is one of the most serious investors in the country, offering work for many local builders and dozens workers. Since 1995, the Church has put on an architecture course from time to time, each year giving more than 40 young people instruction in various aspects of ecclesiastical construction and architecture. Media and publishing. The Orthodox Church of Albania has its own radio station, named Njallia, which 24 hours a day broadcasts spiritual, musical, informative and educational programs and lectures, and has a special children's program. A monthly newspaper with the same name, Njallia, is published, as well as a children's magazine Gazou, the magazine of the Orthodox Youth Kambanat, the student bulletin FJALA, the news bulletin News from Orthodoxy in Albania, and Templi and Kirkham magazine, that contains cultural, social and spiritual materials. Honoria Joan. As of February 2008, more than 100 books with liturgical, spiritual, intellectual, academic topics had been published. Social activities. The Orthodox Church in Albania has taken various social initiatives. It started with health care by organizing from 1999 Diagnostic Center, the Annunciation Orthodox Diagnostic Center in Tirana, with some of Albania's most renowned doctors, and administers healthcare and most contemporary health services in 23 different specialties, 4 medical clinics, and 1 mobile dental clinic. The Office Service of Love for a long now is contributing in the increasing of midwives and nurses' role, offering those training projects and assistance. The Orthodox Autocephalous Church of Albania made extensive humanitarian contributions during the political and social crises, collecting and distributing thousands of tons of food, clothing and medicine. Supported a wide range of social programs, including development projects in the mountain regions, especially in the areas of agriculture and farming, road construction, water supply, educative programs on health for children, the building of rural health centers, and contributions for schools, orphanages, hospitals, institutes for the disabled, elderly homes, prisons, i.e., the greenhouse financed and built by the Church where the prisoners work and the income served for them, and construction of sports ground. soup kitchen for the poorest, etc. During 1999, when Albania accepted waves of refugees from Kosovo, the Orthodox Autocephalous Church of Albania, in collaboration with donors and other international religious organizations, lead an extensive humanitarian program of more than $12 million, hosting 33,000 Kosovars in its 2 camps and giving them food, clothes, medical care, etc. Apart from the theological schools, it has established 3 elementary schools, 17 daycare centers, 2 institutes for professional training, which is said to be the first of its kind in Albania, and provides education in the fields of team management, IT, accounting, computer science, medical laboratory, restoration and conservation of artwork and Byzantine iconography, and Girokastra, 1 professional school, children orphanage, the Orthodox Home of Hope, a high school dormitory for the girls, also given technical and material support to many public schools. An environmental program was started in 2001. An Office of Cultural Heritage was established to look after the Orthodox structures considered to be national cultural monuments and repaired. A number of choirs have been organized in the churches. A Byzantine choir has also been formed and has produced cassettes and CDs. A workshop for the restoration and painting of icons was established with order to train a new generation of artists to revive the rich tradition of iconography. The church has also sponsored important academic publications, documentary films, academic symposiums and various exhibits of iconography, codex, children's projects and other culturally related themes. The Orthodox Autocephalous Church of Albania actively participates as equals in the events of the Orthodox Church worldwide. It is a member of the Conference of the European Churches, the World Council of the Churches, and largest interfaith organization in the world. Religions for Peace is also active in various ecumenical conferences and programs. The Orthodox Autocephalous Church of Albania also contributes to the efforts for peaceful collaboration and solidarity in the region and beyond. Controversies with state authorities. In August 2013, demonstrations took place by the Orthodox community of Permat as a result of the confiscation of the Cathedral of the Assumption of the Virgin and the forcible removal of the clergy and of religious artifacts from the temple by the state authorities. The cathedral was allegedly not fully returned to the Orthodox Albania after the restoration of democracy in the country. The incident provoked reactions by the Orthodox Church of Albania and also triggered diplomatic intervention from Greece. In August 2015, Albanian police demolished the renovated Orthodox Church of St. Athanasius in Ermi, Himara, as local authorities weeks earlier declared it an illegal construction. The Orthodox Autocephalous Church of Albania declared it a vandalistic act of desecration and a violation of church property, and it also triggered diplomatic protests from Greece. This is the second demolition of the church, the first having taken place during the era of the People's Republic of Albania, but at the time the church was rebuilt by the local Orthodox Church after the restoration of democracy in the country. The Albanian government has promised to rebuild the church after archaeological excavations have taken place. The demolition of the religious monument also triggered strong reactions from the European Commission. Individuals. There is a widespread belief that the Orthodox faith is linked with conspiracy theories in which the identification with Greek expansionist plans would classify classify them as potential enemies of the state. Similarly, a former leader of the People's Republic of Albania, Enver Hoxha, propagated that orthodoxy represents the Trojan horse of Albania's historical predatory neighbors, Serbia and Greece. In early 2014, in a trip to the USA, Archbishop Anastasios was met by protesters from the Albanian diaspora who oppose his position as head of the church due to him being from Greece, whereas due to the Albanian Orthodox Church and some bishops being from Greece. Thetos Klosi, former head of Albanian intelligence, stated in a April 2014 media interview that the Albanian Orthodox Church is Greek-controlled and no longer an Albanian institution. Klosi's comments were seen in Albania as controversial, rebuked by the church, while it also sparked media discussion at the time. The Albanian Orthodox Church created a new diocese in Elbasan on April 17, 2016. Its creation is opposed by Father Nicola Marcu, who runs the local St. Mary's Church and who has broken ties with the Albanian Orthodox Church. In the 1990s, the dispute has been ongoing as the Albanian Orthodox Church views Marcu's tenure over the church as illegal. Marcu's differences with the Orthodox Church relate mainly to Anastasios Yannolatos being a Greek citizen heading the church in Albania, with allegations that it has promoted divisions amongst the Orthodox community and Greek chauvinism. Marcu as a cause célèbre over the years has been portrayed by the Albanian media as a rebel patriot. Nevertheless, he enjoys very limited support in Albania. Orthodox Autocephalous Church opposed the legalization of same-sex marriages for LGBT communities in Albania, as the Muslim and Catholic Church leaders of the country too. Demographics. Historical demographics. Although Islam is the dominant religion in Albania in the southern regions, Orthodox Christianity was traditionally the prevailing religion before the declaration of Albanian independence. However, the number decreased over the following years. However, some of this decrease was accounted for by the changing of the boundaries of districts by the newly independent Albania. Additionally, the Orthodox Christians of southern Albania had a greater tendency to migrate than the Muslim neighbors in the early 20th century. Many of the Orthodox Albanians would ultimately return from the Western countries they emigrated to, around the fall of the Ottoman Empire, as based on the late Ottoman census of 1908 and the Austrian-run Albanian census of 1918. The regions that retained the highest percentages of Orthodox Albanians, in some cases absolute majorities, were in the south and the Mizokia region of central Albania. There were also large Albanian Orthodox populations in the regions of Elbasan and Berat. Contrary to the stereotype of only Tusks being Orthodox, Orthodox Albanians were also present in the north, where they were spread out at low frequencies in most regions. Orthodox Albanians reach large proportions in some northern cities, Durrësi, Kavahar and Elbasani. Orthodox Albanians tended to live in either urban centers or in highland areas, but rarely in rural lowland areas. 2011 Census and Reactions. In the 2011 census, the declared religious affiliation of the population was 56.7% Muslims, 13.79% undeclared, 10.03% Catholics, 6.75% Orthodox believers, 5.49% other, 2.5% atheists, 2.09% Bektaşis and 0.14% other Christians. However, the Orthodox Church of Albania officially rejected the specific results as totally incorrect and unacceptable. Although the question regarding religion was optional, only to be answered by those who chose to, like the question about ethnic origin. It has become the central point of discussion and interest of the census. The Albanian Orthodox Church refused to recognize the results, saying they had drastically underrepresented the number of Orthodox Christians and noted various indications of this and ways it may have occurred. The Orthodox Church claimed that from its own calculations, the Orthodox percentage should have been around 24% rather than 6.75%. In addition to boycotts of the census, Orthodox numbers may also be underrepresented because the census staff failed to contact a very large number of people in the south, which is traditionally an Orthodox stronghold. Furthermore, the Orthodox Church said that according to a questionnaire it gave its followers during 2 Sunday liturgies in urban centers such as Daresi, Irati and Korka, only 34% of its followers were actually contacted. There were other serious allegations about the conduct of the census workers that might have impacted on the 2011 census results. There were some reported cases where workers filled out a questionnaire about religion without even asking the participants that the workers used pencils which were not allowed. In some cases, communities declared that census workers never even contacted them. In addition to all these irregularities, the preliminary results release seemed to give widely different results, with 70% of respondents refusing to declare belief in any of the listed faiths, compared with only 2.5% of atheists and 13.8% undeclared in the final results. An Orthodox Albanian politician, Dritan Prifti, who at the time was a prominent MP for the Majaka region, referred to fluctuating census numbers regarding the Orthodox community as being due to an anti-Orthodox agenda in Albania. Orthodox Albanians weren't the only ones to claim the census underrepresented the numbers. The Bektashi leadership also lambasted the results, which even more drastically reduced the representation down to 2%, and said it would conduct its own census to refute the results. While minority organizations of Greeks and Roma also claimed they underrepresented, with the Greek organization Ammonia arguing that this was linked to the underrepresentation of the Orthodox population. According to the Council of Europe, the population census cannot be considered to be reliable and accurate, raises issues of compatibility with the principles enshrined in Article 3 of the Framework Convention. The Advisory Committee considers that the results of the census should be viewed with the utmost caution and calls on the authorities not to rely exclusively on the data on nationality collected during the census in determining its policy on the protection of national minorities. Moreover, the World Council of Churches General Secretary Rev. Dr. Olaf Stevia has expressed concern at the methodology and results of the Albania Census 2011. He has raised questions in regard to the reliability of the process, which, he said, has implications for the rights of religious minorities and religious freedoms guaranteed in the country's constitution. Stevia expressed this concern in letters issued at the beginning of May to the WCC President Archbishop Anastasios, to Professor Dr. Heiner Bielefeld at United Nations Special Rapporteur on Freedom of Religion of Belief, and to the Albanian government. Gallery.